Survivor time. Considering that it's a 4-to-1 ratio in comparison of Survivor to Killer, it's given me no shortage of stereotypes for them. I will be covering all legendaries because, honestly, they act more different than the OG Survivor. And you may ask, well, why didn't you do this for Killer? Because we both know that a Ferryman Blight is going to act the exact same as a normal Blight. And again, disclaimer time, there are always exceptions to stereotypes. Just because a stereotype exists doesn't mean that everybody fits in it. An example would be if you, let's say you play Blight, you're a sweaty wannabe. I'm not saying that you are a sweaty wannabe, it's just that, well, everybody's gonna think you are. Again, if you truly think that I am being serious when saying this, then take my words at face value, and my words are absolute gospel. Starting off with the Survivor that are the most similar to Evan players, we got Dwight, and Dwights are interesting, considering that unlike Evans, most of the Dwights, even the ones with goofy cosmetics, are not good. They can and will throw for a flashlight save, and still somehow miss, even though they're running background player. If you've ever heard the term Meghead, then you know exactly what this is. Most Megs will have either 2 hours or have more than 2,000, yet both will play exactly the same. We're going to use the term Meghead as a definer for other survivors who are just simply bad, and I have no other mean to describe them. Most Claudette players are usually players that have been playing for a pretty long time and are pretty decent at the game. If they're newer though, they'll either hide the whole game or they'll be extremely altruistic and sacrifice themselves for you. Most Jake players are newer and will try and side with the hook you're going to and end up dying, but there's that one store cosmetic, you see a Jake running it, they are easily the best player in that lobby, they're better than anyone else there. Most Nias think they're good at the game, but they play like they haven't realized it isn't 2018 anymore. Get out of the past, broskies. Loris are like Myers players where they're just really big fans of the Halloween series and they love everything that she is and what she embodies, but most of them are bad. And they all run DS, so just keep that in mind. Most Ace players are similar to the Nias, but they're going to be dressed up like this, and they're going to think they're hot shit. They'll try and grab your attention and go for moonwalks only to get 2-tapped. The ones who are avoiding you and leading you to bad areas to chase? Oh, they're the good ones. Don't chase them. Bills are either fresh installs or some of the best juicers you'll ever see. Either way, they're usually pretty cute. Most Fungs are handed their cosmetics on a silver platter and expect their games to go the same way. They're usually very entitled and will do anything in their power to be annoying to everyone in the lobby. Davids will run every exhaustion under the sun except Dead Hard. The only exception to this is if they're running a weird shirtless combo in which they are 100% running the perk. Most Quentin players are usually veteran players, and playing with his face used to look like this. Ugh. Anyways, you can usually expect them to be pretty competent in all regards. Most taps are usually newer players, but when you see a tap with cosmetics, they will be amazing team players. They will live in chase for a pretty long time, they'll get unhooks, they'll get heals done, they'll get gens done, they'll do basically everything that needs to be done. They're really good. Cape players live by the word farming. No matter what is happening to them, you bet they're running over to you to unhook you. Getting chased by a Blight with Ring Crow? They don't care. They're unhooking you. Good luck. Atoms are a godsend to see on your team. They're reliable, and if they take chase, you can make sure they will lead the killer for about 3 gens. Just make sure they aren't a default though, because they will get 2-tapped. This guy tries his absolute hardest to rat, and they will think that they're better than every other rat in the lobby, but he is the loudest thing on the damn planet other than a Blight Rush. If the word clueless was a survivor, it would be Jane's. I don't even think they realize what game they're playing most of the time. They just hit the ready button and they're like, yep, okay, this is what I'm doing now. Like, they cannot pay attention whatsoever. Just fucking look behind you, please. Ash players are the type that are mostly just relaxed when playing the game. They really don't care, but there's always that like one Ash that thinks he's the absolute hot shit of the lobby and he's free as fuck to chase. So just pay attention, and if they want your attention, kill them. Seeing a Nancy player in your lobby was like seeing a Legacy player in your lobby. Nowadays though, they're no better than the Resident Evil survivors. They're maybe able to hit a flashlight save, but other than that, they're worth almost nothing when you see them. These guys are the OG Leons. Most of the people who played Steve before he came back in 2023 were players who had more than 4,000 hours and were somehow playing like they were brand new. Every single Steve will die for you. They won't save you, they will die for you. They will throw themselves in front of you for absolutely no reason. They are DBD's altruistic himbos. Jonathans are the new Gremlin Quentins, however they are horrendous in chase. You can usually expect them to be pretty altruistic though. Judging a Yui is the most dependent on their cosmetics. If they're running any of these, they're goated. If they're running anything else, they're going to think they're goated, but they will throw for flashlight or flashbang saves. Zarina players try their best to act like a Dead by Daylight YouTube content creator, but fall flat in every regard when asked to put up results in either chase or flashlight saves. They will become a robot. Cheryl players are either really good, especially if they're prestige with a sweater, or they post bait on Twitter. Lisas are roleplay medics, and they absolutely adore the Silent Hill series. Most Cybils are similar to the Lisa players, however there is that one Cybil player who will run you like a dog. Just be wary of them.
James players are maliciously insane and unhinged. If you see one in your lobby, please refer to page 174, Addendum 5 of your Survivor for Dummies guide, which will give you the instructions to avoid certain death.
These are the Silent Hill Megheads. Wow, we're really getting usage from this term Meghead, aren't we? Felixes are like Zarina players, but they have that Zoomer ADHD and they just refuse to finish a video before they decide that's what they're gonna do, and so they just fucking sandbag their teammate through background player. They're not good. Elodies just kind of exist in lobbies. I don't know, they'll be chased last simply because they're doing everything else in the lobby. They're the ones doing gens, heals, saves, everything. Young Jin players are the type where if the game doesn't go their way, they'll start throwing and sandbag their teammates. Jills are on average not that great, but they can and will die for you no matter what. It could be an unwinnable situation, and you already know they're there trying to save you. Now, Claires are the complete opposite of Jills, because you could be in a completely winnable situation, and they will just let you rot and fucking die. Oh boy, Leon time. Take everything I said about Steve that was positive and just completely fucking remove it. It's like someone threw a rock at their heads before they decided to boot up the game and they're just playing on autopilot. If you see a Leon in your lobby, just dodge. Please just dodge. Get out of there as fast as you can because he will ensure it will not be a fun game for you. Chris players are far more competent than Leons, but that's not really giving much because they're only going to last like an extra 5 seconds before dying. Carlos players are the most competent of the Leons. They're usually as altruistic as the Jills, but they're still a Leon at heart. These are Boon Megs. They are exactly the same, they just like making totems light up. If anybody on your team is going to get 2-tapped, that isn't a Leon, it's these guys. Jonas somehow have a gravitational pull directly to the killer so they can mystically appear on the hook. You know, Jonas can be so whimsical when they just aren't bombing South America. Yoichi. Yeah, I won't lie, I've only seen like 5 of these guys ever. Whenever I see them, on the rare occurrence they come out of their hidey hole, they're either gods or 3-hour players. They're kinda weird ones. Hattie players are almost the exact same as Young Jins, but instead of throwing, they'll just turn themselves into HattieCar_00. Adas are almost exactly like Jills, but they'll just farm you whenever they can. They'll still reset you and do all that, but if they're in a chase, they'll just grab you for no reason. Rebecca's, other than Leon's, are the absolute worst Resident Evil survivors. They will sandbag you, they will lead the killer directly to you, they will do everything that they possibly can to ensure that they won't die. Seeing a Vittorio is an instant -5 to your IQ. It's an extra 15 lost if they're shirtless. If you even hover over him in the menu, you will slowly and surely feel your brain rot. Toledas are the new age Megheads. I do wonder how many times we're going to get usage out of that word, yeah? Hinatus are the new age ace. Most of them typically know what they're doing and incredibly good in chase. I really haven't ever seen a bad one. They either play Siege, or they like him because he's trans. Trans rights. These guys are running Scavenger for a daily. If they're not, then they only like playing new male survivors. Nicholas players are just premium Leons. They play nearly the same, but Nicholas will go for saves more often. all Ripleys do what we like to call freedom pathing. Freedom pathing is where you don't believe in playing a tile at all and run anywhere you like an American Eagle. Alan seems to be like a mix of the new male survivor syndrome and the mental insanity of James players. Most of them seem to actually be pretty good team players though, so that's good at least. That's the whole series now, I guess. It honestly was rather fun to do this and delve into my nostalgia a bit, but I don't think I'm going to revisit something like this again. No matter how fun it is to make these things, I really don't want to just like copy other people's content, and I really want to do something that is my own thing. So this is probably the last time I'm ever doing something like this, no matter how much I enjoy it. I want to work on that Wesker guide. I've been planning forever. I've learned so much from this killer over the past year and a half that there's so much I want to give, and there's so much more I want to do that's unique. I really want to produce good content for you guys. So yeah, by the way, my word is gospel and every stereotype is 100% accurate, and if you play that character, that's who you are.